Alright guys, so it's me, Waldo2413, back with another video. So in this video guys, I'm going to give you guys kind of a heads up how I do some of my stuff. So if anyone does shirts, you know how to do a lot of this stuff, or just make a vector image. For all the people that are using Gweikes, some of you do, some of you don't. I use a lot of different softwares, and so what I'm doing, so this is an image. I've got the file. I created a box around it, and that's something I did separately. So I have the file. It was one of my files I purchased, I believe, on this one, and I made the top loop to put names in it. And so what I do is I'll grab my text box and I'll just click over on my text until it put the text right where I want. And then what I got to do is go find a font that's like a stencil font, or I can create my own in the software in Gweike. Like, you can find it to do tabs or supports on it. It is totally up to you. I like going online and finding some fonts that might work. So let me scroll through. And this is for a friend. He just started archery class, and so let me get the caps on. And so what I can do is I can put it in the center. There are more ways to do it. I can look at a few different fonts that I like, and I will do that in a second as I go through. But the big thing is finding one you might like, and so I'm going to scale it up also to fit bigger. But that's one of the fonts I have. And I'm going to show you guys a few things, because I've got to do a few different things. So like, I could also, and what I'll do is actually do this correct. So I'm going to go over to my font, and we're just going to edit. There are other ways to do the transformation or to make it fit. I do it my own little way, to each their own. And I can look at that and say, hey, do I like that font or not? And it's okay, but I'm going to give it a few more shots at a few different ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and duplicate this layer just so I don't lose that one. I'm going to hide my other one on this copy layer. I'm going to go back, select the font that I have, and all I'm going to do is change the font. And so I've got a few different ones that I know are stencils. And so like, that's another one. I don't like that because the A. But what I can do it's got a bold one. Let me see if I like that. I'm not really liking that one too much. I just don't like how the A is. So let me find some of my other fonts. And sometimes you can go through and go on for hours trying to find one that you really like, and you end up going back to the first one. This is a very basic one, but it's kind of got the wording that's not too bad. And what you can do, where I get a lot of my fonts, is I go to thefont.com. I'm not paid by them, but it's a good place to find fonts. Works pretty good at finding them, doing what it needs. And so what I'm going to do, the same thing that I did a minute ago, I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to hide my other one. Then I'm going to go on here. And I'm going to look for a few other ones. Like I seen them a minute ago when I was doing this. So I got like stencil bold. I don't like that at all. So I'm not even going to open that one really. I'm going to kind of scroll back up. That one's got a kind of different look. It might work. So what I'm going to do is do it another time. Here's your standard, which, believe it or not, the standard one a lot of times has a good look. That one's bold, so you can actually unbold it. It's bolded twice, so let me look too. I've got a few more that I downloaded earlier today, so let me see if I like any of them. This one's got a rustic edge to it, so depending on how you want the metal to look or how you're going to finish it, it might not be too bad. That's very similar to the other one. I think I got one more, and then I'm going to call it quits, because I'm not finding any of them. Even the ones that I downloaded, looks like are the same ones that I've already put up there. This one I already did. I can't find it. T-E... So there's that one. We're going to run with that. I actually like that. That's pretty big and bold. That could work. What I'm going to do with this one, bring it down a little bit, center it where I kind of like it. Now what I'm going to do is kind of go through and find one that, as I do this, more or less I'm comparing them. I actually like that one. Should have enough supports, should be pretty strong. So what I'm going to do, so here's what you do. Once you have all the stuff you need, there's a few different ways you can do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in my software, I'm going to duplicate these layers, and then I'm going to take these other layers, turn them off, and what I'm going to do, oops, not what I want. What I'm going to end up doing is merging these layers together. So I can get it to merge. There we go. Merge layers. So then what I'm going to do is I've got Adobe Illustrator opened up here. And you could do this in Adobe, because what it is you're needing to make a vector. So what I'm going to do is open it up in here. I'm going to scale it up just a little bit. And then I'm going to image trace. And it says it could take a few minutes. And so there it goes. It's already done. I'm going to expand it. And so what that's doing is creating the boundaries for me. So what I'm going to do is do my select tool. And I'm going to click the one. I'm going to slide it over here. I'm going to take everything in here and I'm going to delete it. And so now, if you see this, I've got a finished product, and you can see it over here. That's technically what would happen when I cut it out. And so if you see that, that would be my cut, my metal that I'm going to cut. And so I kind of like that. I think it's going to work good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it back over here. I'm going to file, save as. And I'm going to save this a few different times. So saved in work right now. You can see I've got my skull test from where I called this. So I'm going to save that one. So I already have it that way. Now the software we're using, we need a DXF. So I'm going to export it as a DXF into this file here. And I've got it saved 1:1. And then I'm going to export it again as a DWG. I'm going to save it. And the reason I'm saving all these different ones is because sometimes the software you'll have issues opening it up or getting it to work correct. And so by having a few choices, you should be able to get it to work. Now I'm also going to go back and do save as, and then I'm going to pick a PDF. And I'm going to save that one. And so that way I should have, and it's going to ask me to save it as the PDF. I'm going to have 4 or 5 files, so in case one's not working correct in the M-Laser software, you'll have more files to choose from, so that like a good example, I create my files here in my office, and then where the laser is at, I'm nowhere near it. So this makes it easier for me to have all my files and everything ready and good to go, so that I'm not running into any issues or any problems like that trying to get it all to work. So what I'm going to do also Now that we save that, I'm going to go back to my Photoshop. And so here's another file I've been working on. This is for my neighbor's farm. My neighbor's last name is Pugh. He hunts a lot. And so I'm going to make him a farm for his house. He helps me out a bunch. He bush hogs the field when my tractor's down and helps me out. Great neighbor, great friend, great person. So I created this sign for him. So I've kind of already did the same thing with that. So what I'm going to do is go back here into Photoshop, and then I'm just going to create a new folder or a new file. We're going to do 28 by 28. I'll probably make it 24 by 24 when it's all said and done. When I go to laser it, just depending on how it looks on the thing. So I'm going to go back here. I've already created this, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag it in just like I did before. And so what I'm going to do here, and you could scale it up after, it's totally up to you. But I'm going to scale it in here first before I do the vectorizing of it. That's pretty good. So I like that. He's got some bird dogs and all. He turkey hunts, he deer hunts, and he goes out west and hunts a bunch of different things. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to select this whole thing. I'm going to do my image trace. Make sure it looks good. And then I'm going to hit expand. Same thing I did last time. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to move this over. What I'm going to do is zoom out a little bit. I'm going to move it over just a little bit more. What I'm going to do is select all this other stuff and delete it. And then I'm going to take my file and I'm going to set it right back here. And then I'm going to kind of zoom in. I'm going to kind of just glance at it, make sure it looks just like I need to. I'm going to go back over to my other file, see how it looks. Looks pretty good. No real complaints. There's the other thing I use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to save this one. Save it. So I'm saving an AI first, and that's just an Adobe Illustrator file. I'm going to go through, I'm going to save as a PDF. Save that one. And you don't have to do this. Just find which one works good for you. I do normally have them saved out there. We'll do SVG. SVGs tend to work. Save that one. But it's totally up to you. But like I said, find which one works for you best. I don't have the best answer when it comes to because the software, they've been tweaking it some and changing it. Like they have that double line eliminator now, so use something like that. Like I said, this one came out pretty good, so we're gonna run with that. I just did 4 or 5 files of it, so what I'm gonna do is put them on my flash drive, and then we'll take them out to the computer and cut some of these signs out. So now you guys got to see how it's done. And so this is how you can create a metal sign with your Gweike fiber laser. I hope you guys found this helpful. Hope this worked for you guys, and hope it helps you guys make signs and continue to do some cool things. Post and let me know what you guys do. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Please like, subscribe, and follow.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button. That's where you don't miss any more Michi and Bobby videos.